I had a customer that liked this piece, but they wanted two separate pieces out of this. They wanted to cut it in half and have two separate pieces. And I couldn't do that because I don't have the original boards for this, so I had to make up two new separate pieces. So you'll have this half, this is the finished pieces. This and this. So you can see that matches that, and then this matches that. And then for each piece, I had to do three separate blocks. So these blocks go with this piece here. And then these three blocks go with this piece here. Now, they also wanted me to match the colors, which these colors are 15 years old, and they've probably faded a little. So I got as close as I could. I'll show you how I went about the colors and stuff, and how different blocks can do different colors. And I'll show you how I register these three blocks all to each other. I'll show you all that coming up after this. But this is the final piece. So you're seeing the final piece before I show you how I do it all on all three blocks. Well, there's 6 blocks altogether, 3 for each piece. I think that's about it. I had a customer that liked one of my pieces, but they wanted to cut it in half and then separate it into 2 separate pieces. Well, I didn't want to do that, so I'm going to do a piece for them separately. And this is the one half of the piece. So what I did is I just outlined it, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer this tracing to here. Now, it's a 3-plate process, so before I do all that, I want to do my registration system, so I have it all down, and I did all 3 boards. And you can see that, and I'll show you that when I get to the press, because I got to carve out some wood and show you how I register all 3 of them together. Okay, I transferred the tracing to the board. Now, if you notice, I didn't transfer all of it. Like these lines here, I didn't transfer yet because they're different colored plates. This is my red plate, so everything I want to print red, I want to keep. So anything that's not going to print red, that's what I'm taking out, and that's like this area, this big area here. You can see like this will not print red. There's no red in here. There's no red there. So that's what I'm going to carve out first. So that's all I traced out is the areas I'm going to carve out on the red plate that I don't want to print red. See, this is what happens when you got a cat that just wants to sit on your work, so you can't work. Hey, Paul, just get out of my way so I can do some work. You're a pain in the ass. Okay, you can see I'm moving along, cutting out more and more. And you notice I have different tools out here because of a different, like a tight area, I'll use a V-gouge. I get a nice straight line, I'll use this because it cuts a little deeper. And then to take out big areas, I'll use this big scoop. I'll take out this area, so I don't want a huge scoop, but see, right here I'm going to need the triangle because it's a very tight area. Okay, what I need to do here is transfer this image to this board and this board. So what I'm going to do is going to roll this plate up with that ink. For me to transfer this image to the plate, what I'm going to do is use this piece of paper. I will run this through the press. I'm going to put my registration marks on this piece of paper first. And there's 3 in the back, but I'll do them after I run it through the press. I'm going to register the back. Mark it there. And there's the image onto the paper. And now with these registration marks, I should be able to line it up. Okay, I ran it through the press, and we'll see how it came out. Let's see, now there's my light image onto that block. And I have to do it one more time. So I have one more block I have to transfer it to. This is my blue plate. So I want to take out anything that's not blue, like where the green is. There's no blue in here. There's no blue there. No blue in here. There's blue there, but there's no blue there. And this gives you the basic idea of what I got to carve out and how I go about it. So this is carved, that's carved. This isn't. This is from the transfer when I transferred the image to here so I can have something easier to go by. But this won't come out because this is blue. But you get the basic idea of what I have to do for 3 plates. Okay, to get some textures in this piece, I'm going to use a Dremel. This is a big bit. I'll use some smaller bits too. I have different bit sizes here. And the big bit will be for these big areas where I want to take out big chunks, and then I'll use a smaller bit for in there. And this is basically just to give it some texture, and it's a little more free-flowing, a little more organic. You can also draw with this and stuff, but for this piece I'm not going to do that. but it's more organic than just using your gouging tools, which is a little bit more defined. But I'll show you how this works. The Dremel's a lot quicker than using the hand tools. Okay, this will be a little different the way I do it. This way, you can see it'll kind of give it a different texture than that and that. And then on this one's a little quicker to do. It's just round circles without a kind of like half circles. But this will be a little bit more random, but it'll give it a different look than these two will. Okay, for in here, that's what I was using to do these big areas. But in here I'm going to use a smaller one. Okay, that gives you the basic idea. I got 5 more plates to do. What I'm going to do is transfer my ink from my palette to my plate that I've carved out. This is my green plate. There's a couple plates on this. I'm going to do this 2 different ways. This piece I'll do the green first, and on the second piece I'm going to do the red first. But for this one, since this is the first plate I'm doing, I'll show you how I register it, which I showed you earlier in the beginning with how I registered the blocks to each other, but now I just need to make sure the paper will line up. So I take these 3 marks in the front, and I just mark them, and I'll do the back after I run it through the press. Okay, now I'm going to register the back. I still have the front registered, and I'll register my marks here, and I have a couple extra. It came out kind of bright. And that's my green plate. And then I will put my orange plate over top of that. Now my orange plate lines up nicely, easy to key. My orange plate on top of my green. And we'll do a blue plate over top. On this one I'm going to do the orange plate first because I want to see the differences I get in colors when I do it this way. So you have to register this again. A new piece of paper. This will be the first orange color. There's my orange plate. This is my orange plate first color, and then green's on top. And then this is the green on the bottom, orange on the top. And you can see the orange is a little darker here than there. That's what I wanted to see the differences. And there's other differences too, but that's the main one. You can see the difference, how that's a little bit lighter than there. Okay, my final plate, my blue plate. We'll be putting this on. This will be my final color of my blue plate. Alright, let's take a look at it. And this is what it looked like before I printed it. I'm going to slide this down a little more. Get an idea. So on these two, all the colors are exactly the same. The only difference is I did the red plate first here, and on this one I did the green plate. And you'll see that this is a little different. This is a little lighter, and this is a little darker than that. That's because the green's printing over on top of this, and on this one the red's printing over, so this one's a little darker. I'm liking this one better, but I had to move them around just to check to see what I liked best, because there are differences. Even though all the colors are exactly the same on all 3 blocks. But I thought I'd show you that. And I think I'm going to go with this, and I think that color's good to match the original. Okay, this is the final 2 pieces here. Finished.